Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is 9th. Can you hear me all okay? Everything good? I think we're good. Okay, so today, Monday, pretty unprecedented things happening in the market. We are going to talk, go straight into what happens when a circuit breaker hits. Let me pull up the screen here. As you can see right now, we are currently what we call limit down, which means there is a price limit at which you cannot sell more. You are not allowed to place sell orders below 28.19. You can place an offer at 28.19, but you cannot market sell into 28.75. You can see there's actually a couple of limit buys below there, the 28.75, 6. If you are one of those 6 retail traders that has an order placed at 28.1875, just cancel it because it's not going to get hit, at least not until the market opens. So let's talk about what happens when a price limit is hit. If it is the regular session, the price limit is held there for 2 minutes. If it stays offered for 2 minutes, then there is a halt. They will halt the future, and that will go for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, they will open again, and the price limit will change. Now, that means that they could sell it further. I think that the price limits go like 7%, 10%. I've never seen that happen before. I don't know if it can happen or if it will happen in this instance. I would say it can happen if we just aren't sufficiently priced in, and this is something that you can absolutely price in, okay? Because it's oil, but we'll get into that later. So then again, it will go through that process again. They'll go down to the limit. If it stays offered for 2 minutes, then there's a halt, and then they open back up again. And then the third time, if they hit that limit as well, then they just close the future down for the day. Now, overnight, it's different because there is no halt. So overnight, there is a price limit of 5%, and you just can't sell below 5%. Hold on a second. My microphone is messed up. So that is what is happening right now. We hit the 5% price limit pretty early on in the session, and we are just sitting there all night. Now, because it doesn't halt, it's still trading. You can still buy it. And we have seen overnight a number of times they have spiked up, a good 10 points or so back up. So my recommendation, first of all, just don't trade it. I would just recommend not trading today's market live. I know that they increased the margin for NinjaTrader customers, so you have to spend $1,000 per order. I'm having trouble with my microphone getting it centered here. Okay, they increased the margins. It's extremely risky. I would not recommend trading it. That said, if we hit a price limit, and you are short, I recommend taking your profits there. I strongly recommend you to think about taking your profits there because there's an extremely high chance that they will reverse for at least a little bit, and you're being given an easy take profit. You just get out. Just get out. Similarly, you can buy it. You can buy it and make a little bit on the upside because the whole thing is basically engineered to reverse, right? If you are in a sell, you can't push it further. You can either wait or you can exit, which means that you buy, okay? If you are in a long, you can't get out, essentially. You have to wait for them to make 28.19 go bid to sell to get out. So all of the longs are stuck. Anybody that would want to go long can go in at 28.19. Anybody that would want to go short, they can't unless they somehow get filled at 28.19. So the whole thing is basically engineered so that the only person that can do anything is the guys that are willing to market buy into 28.19. So the chances of us going up are pretty good that there will be at least one bounce off of 28.19. And of course, that's what we did. Now we're sitting there. And that's the market. Boom, 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 ba-dum. Bloody Monday. And thank you, Anthony, for the donation. Thank you very much. So, now that we got all that out of the way, what is going on? Well, OPEC has been unable to make an agreement on output cuts, which means that the price of oil is going to continue to go down. The U.S. economy has a lot of oil, or relies on oil business, and so everybody that was sensitive to the price of oil is being affected, and that means a lot of stocks are going to be repriced. Where that takes us, I don't know. If I worked for Goldman Sachs, I know that they have a way of pricing that. They go in and they say, here's how much business the X company is expected to do this year, and this is the price of oil, and this is how much they make, and you can literally price it in. But this sort of a thing totally makes companies go out of business. I remember last time around, Flying J. It's a company local. Well, they're not like local, but they're kind of popular in the Mountain West. And they had a bad bet on price of oil, and they basically had to liquidate. So it can totally make companies go under. So a repricing of the S&P 500 would make sense. Is it 5%? I don't know. And then the other side of this is that they've basically quarantined Northern Italy. They've told everybody to just self-quarantine. I don't know if that's a smart idea, but the politicians want to prove to the populace that they're doing everything they can. I think that after this, next time around, people might say, maybe that's not such a good idea because last time it led to a really ugly economic crisis. So that's where we're at. Let me start the text-to-speech thing. Hope that all made sense. Your wife is a flight attendant. Has she heard from the union yet? On CNN, the flight attendant labor rep is speaking out, asking for protective guidelines, and the baby sleep. Yeah, the baby slept really well last night, I think. I don't remember ever being woken up. I don't think that the company has told them anything. She tells me about the conversations that she keeps seeing on the Facebook group, and the gist of it is that so far they've been unaffected. Because the company that she works for is all small local flights. So, and not only that, but they contract for Delta. So they have certain guarantees set up, I believe. They're only in a problem if like Delta went under. So hers is a slightly different situation, right? Okay. Is this showing up now? Oh, yes, it does. Could have read that last one now. Okay, I have a little bit of food that I don't know why. I guess it's because it's daylight savings time. That's another thing. If you're in Europe, the United States is daylight savings time, so the market opens an hour from now. Oh, there's another thing that I forgot. Because we are limit down, if we are still limit down at 9:25, I believe it is, then they will halt it. And it will reopen, and the CME will provide guidance on what the opening price will be for the open. And it really looks like that might happen. Now, that said, there's like $39.97 offered at $28.19. I have a sim order of with me long at $28.19. I had two in, and one of them already took. Actually, I took it 3 times. You can see here. So that's cool, $30. But we'll see if they get another one today. The treasuries do appear to be coming back a little bit. In fact, the ZB is way off of its highs. So if they come back down, well, we'll see if they can go lower or not. That's a tough call. But if they move lower, we could definitely see some
Uzi Knesset
Russian
says today is a good day to
news.
sim lol.
Right, yeah. So, like I said earlier, I highly recommend just not trading it. Highly recommend just not trading it. If you happen to be short, I'd just get out. Like if you're short the E-mini, if it was me, if I was short the E-mini right now, I would just be buying 28.19 and getting out. And similarly, if it goes down to 7% and you happen to have an order out there, you happen to have a position on, I would just get out right there. So, yeah. OSIM, isn't it a great thing? Yeah, they increased the margin requirements for the so does that mean that you have to have $100 to trade a micro contract now? Ninja increased them. I don't know if AMP did. Let's see. Let's check my mail. I don't think that my check has gotten over to them yet either. Well, I don't see anything. Oh, wait. Maybe. Would you share your holy grail? No. That's an interesting thread on Futures IO. I do not see anything from AMP yet. I don't know. Well, I have some oatmeal, so I'm gonna eat some oatmeal. All right. The bond futures are going. I don't necessarily see a trade, but they're trending down, so that might lead to a pop in the E-mini. We'll see.
Janice JJJ says, hey, what's up, bro? What do you think about the massive gap?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's justified or not. You know, here's the thing. So when I worked for Goldman Sachs, I guess I can tell you that I worked for Goldman Sachs, but I worked in technology, and at Goldman Sachs they have a piece
Janice
of technology.
JJJ says, I meant in S&P 500.
Yeah, I know you mean in the S&P 500. At Goldman Sachs, they have a piece of technology that's actually pretty well publicized. They call it a securities database. And securities database is an object database wherein if you make one change to one object, then everything that is attached to it gets affected. So you can have one object that is oil, and then you can say, this company owns this much oil, or this company, this is how much they're affected by oil. And then the price of oil changes, and every security in the database is updated to reflect that. And this is how they price things. So these companies, they have ways of knowing if the new price of oil is correctly priced in by the market or not. And I don't know I don't have those tools available to me. So if it isn't correctly priced in, then we will continue to go down until it is. But if we are, then they're going to come out and buy this really hard. Now, the issue is that right now, unless you're willing to buy 3,000 contracts long in the S&P 500 futures, not a whole lot of reason to trade it. I'm sure there's going to be lots of retail guys out there that are crazy enough to trade it. I would not recommend doing it. But yeah, so you just got to remember this kind of a situation. sets up a very, very high probability of a
Uzi
short
Knesset
covering a
says
rally.
IYD 13K bro lol.
Yeah. A very high probability of a short covering rally, but they have to price it. So if it's not correctly priced, then it
Moon
doesn't
says
matter.
craziness in the markets. My Canadian peso is dropping even more today.
The Canadian
Janice
peso.
JJJ says OMG.
Oh yeah, I'm sure because the Canadian dollar is so affected by the price of oil, they're gonna get just slaughtered, huh?
Uzi Knesset
Oh
says
man.
expand your offer column. It's 13K I mean.
Oh, is it 13K? Wait. Oh my god, you're right. It's 13K. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Winston's mom says 18 watching now. Everyone please take a quick second to hit like. Thank you.
Yep. Well, I didn't eat a whole lot for breakfast, and I have some oatmeal. It did not. Oh, actually, we're okay. It all absorbed. So I'm gonna eat a little bit here, and we'll just keep this going for a bit. All right. So I'll be right back. In fact, I'll just use this one so you have to watch me eat.
Winston's mom says we will chat amongst ourselves. How was everyone's weekend? Did you all find time to do something fun? Or did you go shopping and stock up? Just in case, I expect we will see toilet paper shortages.
Can anybody explain to me why toilet paper? Why is everybody going and buying toilet paper? I just don't understand. You really? I mean, I have enough toilet paper, so I didn't worry about it. But I don't understand why everybody thinks that toilet
Luis
paper is the
Alarid
thing.
says shit happens. Uzi Knesset says I don't understand the TP either. Janice JJJ says if Goldman has such tools then they can manipulate the price however they want whenever they want and make the biggest profit. Anthony Monroe says I buy shit coins, not shit toilet paper.
Well, they can't whenever they want, but
Moon says the
certainly,
coronavirus is blown out of proportion, it's crazy.
they certainly have an unfair advantage in information that
Winston's mom
lets them
says
know when they
speculator
can.
Seth cornered the corn dog market, so blame him if you want a corn dog and can't find one. Lol, Luis Alarid. This may harken back to the days when Johnny Carson joked about toilet paper. Jerry is awake says maybe we all should buy those Chinese toilets, power wash. Janice JJJ says that's a good question. Gary Rich says Seth has a zoo and he wonders about people buying TP. Harlequin says I think I have never seen crude oil have more volume traded than the Amini and it is more than double the volume lol. Had one good long in crude and now I guess just watch the day and learn.
Well, there's the 10-year treasury trying to do something, but then coming back. Curious. Oh, there it goes. All right. Yeah, that kind of made me think maybe there's a piece of news out there. Let's
Jerry is awake says I had a good weekend.
No, I don't see it, but that was a really wow. Wow.
Winston's mom says, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore, Wizard of Oz reference. Morimoto's in Manhattan has these fancy Toto toilets and I simply could not figure out what button to push and there were lots of buttons. Gary Rich says look how awesome these oil companies DV going to be.
I mean, the price of oil going down, that's good for airline companies, right? Maybe we can all, now would be a good time to go on vacation this summer to Italy, huh? Huh? If you're not afraid of it. I mean, I'm not afraid of it. Well, I can't go like if I haven't already caught it by then. If I catch coronavirus, then I think we're going to Italy this summer. That's how we should put it. Maybe we'll go to Italy if I've already caught it, At the point at which everybody has it and they're not worried about quarantines anymore.
Moon says it's just the flu. Gary Rich says the 10 years treasury below 0.5% yield. Holy.
Harlequin says don't go to Italy, visit Wuhan, tourist attraction, #1 best soup on the planet and we have camps. Great camps.
Uzi Knesset says time to refinance.
Well, I check again. I got 4% on my house, and when I checked the other day, they were offering 3.5.
Jerry is awake.
Probably
says
they're
the way
offering
things are
3
going,
now.
Retirement age is going up to 105.
But if interest rates go negative, then I think that then mortgages could get to 2 or less. So I think the mortgages tend
Lulu
to lag
says
a little bit.
TLT dollar just bless me so much. Bonds are crazy.
I bet. I just can't. I mean, at first I thought, well, there's no way they can get below 0.5, but then I realized, there's Federal Reserve this week and they'll probably drop again. So I guess they could, a quarter. But then if they get below that, then it's like something like, I don't know what happens. Like, what happens when they get below what the Federal Reserve is offering? Like, I've heard of like an inverted yield curve, but like inverted from what the Federal Reserve offers? How is that possible? Because anybody can just go to the Federal Reserve and get a better interest rate. So why would they push it? Doesn't make sense. But that also kind of tells you that this movement is not necessarily natural. It is from trading, in my opinion.
Harlequin says don't you think the Amini will drop on the open? European markets are dropping right now while the Amini is chilling at the limit and maybe that's why there is a fucking 13K order. Gary Rich says well I'm gonna tell you a secret. Eurodollar futures and bonds predicted the Fed to blink. They will blink again soon. Anthony Monero says Air France is losing money because they bought oil in advance. When price is lower, they lose. When price is higher, they win. Lulu says this is a scary time to move forward. Any advice?
Okay. Lulu, my recommendation is switch that account over to your sim and have fun. Don't put real money on it.
Uzi Knesset says take a break. Don't trade live now.
Don't trade live now. Don't trade live now.
Uzi Knesset says unless you have deep ass pockets.
Google doesn't understand comments. See, if you said don't trade, comma, live now, then it would make sense. I like that one. Of course, if you're rich, why not YOLO on an e-micro contract? Maybe? YOLO long? I tell you what, I bet
Gary
you.
Rich says the 30 years at 0.88% on Friday. It closed at 1.29%.
I bet you that if you put a buy order in there and you have, the sell just a little bit higher, pretty good chance at some point you're going to get it. But like, what was it? Harlequin mentioned that European markets are dropping while the E-mini is chilling at the limit. But see, did the European markets reach past 5%? The whole thing is I don't know how to price it. I know that it can be priced, but I do not have the data to do it. Back. Sorry about that. OBS crashed. Can you believe that? That's never happened before. I don't think I've ever had OBS crash. They said that they printed the log out. So let's see here what happened. Stack trace and everything. Just default. Interesting. Doesn't really tell me what happened. Can you guys hear me? Am I back now, though? Yep, I think we are, because I'm looking over here. I can see it. Cool.
Winston's mom says I am reading about Fed rates going to 0%. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense to me that the U.S. cash rate will fall below zero sometime very, very soon, said Chris Rands. Winston's mom says portfolio manager at Nico Asset Management Limited in Sydney. I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. tries negative rates, especially with the tailspin in oil now adding to the virus fears. Bloomberg. Luis Alarid says a gov expert said okay to fly but stay away from cruises, they're short for you. Winston's mom says speculator Seth suddenly you are blurry. My computer looks normal on the other channels.
Yeah, it's probably messed up. It might help for you to refresh the page at this point, because you might get delayed or whatever, because it basically dropped. I don't know what happened. It's never happened before, but OBS just straight up crashed. That's weird. If it does it again, I'm gonna be like, what? Okay, so treasuries are a little bit higher, I can see. This is an area right here around 0706 that we might see some.
Winston's mom says I refreshed
actually.
you and you are clear as the market bell.
There we go. Well, I missed it. Like that. Oh, man.
Harlequin says I don't even know if there is limit down in DAX. I mean 8% down right now, and it was pretty much down 9 to 10% during the European Open.
Really?
Gary Rich says let's see if you guys get to experience a limit halt, and a halt for the entire day.
Man, a halt for the entire day would be insane. Doesn't it have to be 15%, right? I have to pull up that link again. Halt for the whole day would be crazy.
Fallow says did S hit circuit breaker?
No.
John Wendell
not.
says no 20%.
So again, there is no halt in the overnight session. There's a price limit of 5%, but there's no halt. So they hit the price limit and
Gary
they're
Rich
just
says
offered
20% for halt for day.
Yeah. Now, in the regular session, it's different. In the regular session, if we open back up and we go down to 7%, then it can stay offered for 2 minutes. And then if it stays offered like that for the 2 minutes, then they will halt it. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Well, that big order isn't necessarily coming with it, but I can see them kind of, yeah, see how that works. How it doesn't take much either. So I happen to catch a run on one out, so. Mm-mm-mm. And I guess that's another thing I should have said earlier that I didn't. But if you really insist on trading it live, um, I would recommend trading in the 10-year Treasury as opposed to anything else because there's way more liquidity in there, right? At least they're putting hundreds, right? So you got a much better chance of surviving in the 10-year Treasury than you are, trying to trade the mess of the E-mini when if that ever comes back out, Cool. +8. That was cool. That was a good trade. I really liked that one. These big orders have
Gary
been
Rich
helpful.
says last time crude fell this hard 1991, Desert Storm War. Now a virus did it.
Yeah, well, but it's not really a virus, is it, Gary Rich? Because they could reduce their output and find a floor on the price, but apparently they don't want to do that because they want to try and wash each other out, right? Am I understanding that correctly? Not an oil guy. But it sounds to me like Saudi Arabia doesn't want to reduce their oil output because they want to screw over the Russians and everybody else, right? And hope that the Russians just go out of business and that they catch more of the market. Wow, that came back fast. I'm sure glad that I took that +8. Don't be greedy in this kind of an environment. You can get a fast run. You catch a profit that is like, twice as big as your usual take, just take it. Doesn't matter if you could have gotten more. It doesn't matter.
Moon says there is also big oil companies that aren't producing right now. If they get back into the game, they will drive the price down even further.
Yeah, well, so then the other, because the only number that I heard for oil was 30, and we're already there. So what would be correct pricing of oil at current output levels? Again, somebody has a formula out there of the way that they like to calculate it. But I don't have that information.
Gary Rich says China is 3 mil barrels a day of supply short. Saudi wanted cuts but Russia got mad. The Saudi wanted cuts, but Russia got mad. Yeah, I don't, this is why I don't trade oil. I don't understand the political dynamics of cartels. Okay, Treasury's still kind of bouncing around though. Gary Rich says word as crude gets to 25 to 20 a barrel.
Wonder how many of the big firms out there are gonna also switch, like turn everything off and just not trade this. Let's switch this. I need to.
Harlequin says honestly you don't need to know fundamentals to trade crude. Just stay flat or extra careful during OPEC speeches. The biggest drops last Friday were obviously during OPEC meeting.
Oh, okay. Sounds fair enough. Certainly, there'd be a lot of how do you say? You can just trade off of price action or whatever your signal is. Sure. I would prefer to trade in a market that I understand the dynamics of, though, because I've found in treasuries that understanding the different things that the different participants and the major events that happen during the month for those participants and how the
Gary
futures
Rich
react
says
to
I
it.
saw a stat on how many days in a row CNBC says markets in turmoil. ILMFAO. Harlequin says honestly trading CL during OPEC is like trading a mini during Fed speech.
Interesting. But anyways, I found that to be a really strong edge that I wouldn't recommend trading without it. Microphone keeps moving. Now that just reminds me that I had a new microphone. Let's see if I can. Just something doesn't seem right about it to me. Like I'm not as loud as I
Luis
expect to be.
Alarid says approximately 26 employees at Biogen, 23 of whom live in state, have now tested positive for the coronavirus COVID-19 after attending a company meeting late last month. Wow of all pulses.
Wow. Anyways, I got that microphone. I went to take it to get it repaired, so we'll see if it gets repaired. I have to be like right in here to get it to max out. It just doesn't sound as loud as it should be, or full, but whatever. Can you believe that the treasuries are literally only putting 100 on? Look, there's more trading in the 5-year than the 10. That's something else. On some of these prices, there is more liquidity in the 5-year. Maybe you could trade the 2-year. Maybe that's what we need to do is switch over to the 2-year. So I'll switch over and trade the 2-year. That'll do it. I guess I should just move that down because the E-mini is not doing anything. We can watch the treasuries. Well, the treasuries, they moved up and they're kind of bumping up. They're trying to make it break up again, but they're not doing it.
Harlequin says so how many limit downs have you seen so far? This is the first for me.
So I remembered they did it in Bitcoin once, right? I think it happened another time. What was the other time? Was the other time also Bitcoin? It was probably also Bitcoin. I have seen it. We have traded it.
Fallow says me too.
At least once or twice. So that's why I was pointing out, because when it first happened, I didn't read all of the rules and I didn't completely understand, and I misinterpreted what was going on because I was short and I got out, and then I thought, oh, I can get in again, and I realized that it's a 2-minute limit down. So if it stays limit down for 2 minutes, then it's a 2-minute halt. Then it comes back again. So that's the thing that you got to remember. So if you are short and you hit that limit down, just take the profit. They're just giving you the best price that you can possibly get. You're taking a trade that's going to be like way bigger than anything else you've ever taken. Just take it. Because the last time that I saw this happen, they opened back up, there's a stop run lower, and then they immediately reverse hard. Because you got this situation where everybody in the instrument is short. So everybody new that comes in is going to go long and try and stop them out. Unless we have some way of valuing things that lets us know that it really needs to keep going lower. Where did that oh, there's this. We should probably put that on. Do it that way. Now we'll do it that way. Oh, we could put it right here. Oh, I'm looking for my ES. There it is, right there. Okay. I don't think any orders have actually gone through in the ES, have they? Oh, I have a size filter on that one, so let's just get rid of the size filter. And the display duration. Okay. Twitter strikes investment deal with Elliott Management Silver Lake after attempt to oust CEO Jack Dorsey. Oh, that's unfortunate. I really think that those guys are right. That you get rid of Jack Dorsey, that there's a lot of potential.
Gary Rich says Brexit vote. I saw the bid stack hard while the results were coming in.
See, I think Brexit vote was before my time.
Ace Trade says morning.
Hello, Ace. Well, I wonder if this would be a point at which if they were going to try and make a buy, I think that they would do it before the open, but I don't think so. They look determined to just sit here until the open.
Ace Trade says sorry, I was trading last night and I blew the fuse.
You blew wait. You blew the fuse. Oh, don't please tell me that you didn't blow the account. Please tell me you didn't blow the account. This is just trade it, Sim.
Gary Rich says that Ace talk these guys off the ledge. Help them.
Help them. I don't want to buy it. I do.
Ace Trade says yeah, that was me. Not my account.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Don't trade it. I know that I'm not a financial advisor, but I strongly recommend to just not trade it. Trade it on Sim. Have fun. You'll probably lose.
Ace Trade says I caused the market to crash.
Oh, it was
Trade
you.
Travel Live says we need bond micros. Slightly smiling face. Trade Travel Live says micros.
Why don't you just exit your position and buy it up for us? Come on. Easy solution here. We need bond micros.
Gary
apparently.
Rich says that Ace wasn't it fun in the night. Moon says my portfolio is up $1,000 just from holding foreign currencies. I'm Canadian, lol.
Wow.
Harlequin says crude. Micros. Period.
Well, there is those micro crude, but I forget what the weird thing is about it, right? It's priced differently. It's not 1/10. And I never remember. You guys have told me 1 trillion times, and I never remember. The bonds are still trending higher. It's a slow churn, but well, there was a little bit of a spike. Basically just retrace this whole down move that we had.
Ace Trade says I will think of it as the S is on sale today, half off.
Half off. I don't know. So I was just telling him, and since you haven't heard this speech, during the regular trading session, if we hit the circuit breaker, it remains offered. And so you can still trade it, but if it remains limit down, like they have a strong offer on the limit and nobody's able to buy it back up, then they halt it. So if you're short and it's coming down into you, I would just put a limit buy order right there at the price limit on the expectation that you're going to get filled there, and that's the most that they're going to let you take. And I don't think it's worth holding it through the halt. And I've seen it before where everybody was like, okay, the halt's about to come back open here. I bet you they're going to sell it all, and you'll see like a really quick stop run lower, and then it's all buying. It's all buying.
Harlequin says honestly some guys in the Amini have to be pretty certain it will go down. Why would they stack the offer so much and even refill it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ace Trade says yeah, you just can't take it short. You can buy all you want right now.
Yeah, exactly. You can buy it 2019. So I have a sim order on there looking for it to spike back up. But that was like, I put that there last night, and I probably should have put both of the orders on there, because if I had been watching it all night, then I would have been out by now. But alas. So I want to see what happens now. My expectation is that nobody buys it up.
Look how cheap the oil majors are. 50% plus on sale. We don't get these opportunities all the time. Live Action says well 23K think we will lift from this limit low in S. Last night all offer lifted and price spiked a couple of times 10 handles when T-notes offered.
Yeah, totally. Although the T-notes aren't offering right now, are they? They're still kind of churning higher. Yeah, you know what, Gary? The more I think about that.
Harlequin says I mean markets are crazy right now. Don't expect anything. Watched a SMB Capital video where they said that they have never seen a market close down after an announced Fed rate cut.
On the day, no, yeah, you're right. So to me, there being 13K offered. I mean, if you were really, really sure that you wanted to sell it, why would you show it all? You know, because I think I would be more concerned about not getting filled than anything. If I was a big guy and I was really certain that it was going to go down, when I see that there's 13K offered, that's not somebody that wants to be filled. That's somebody that wants to hold it down. So a little nuance there, I guess. But so the other thing I would say is even if we price it, and let's just say that we price and we know that it's going to go to 7%, I'm going to bet you that there's going to be really crazy short covering first, no matter what. That's why I'm like, if you're short, you're probably better off just taking the limit, because when it gets going again, it's going to be so wild, you're not going to be able to catch the prices that you want. Well, we're going to sit here another 20 minutes. I'm going to laugh if the E-mini gets going and they reverse and they don't get to 7%, but I don't really know what's going to happen.
Gary Rich says some of these oil majors are going to pay up to 9% to 10% EV. Get paid 10% to wait. What a deal versus owning a 30 years bond. Harlequin says I bet many people will lose money today and some will make money.
I'm sure. Okay, that was a
Luis Alarid says
significant
I drank
down.
2 cups of coffee. I'm ready. Bring it.
It was a significant turn down in the treasury. They're also trading significant volume to do it, though. So somebody is accumulating at 15.5. They might break through him. If they can get below like 15 here, I don't know if they can. Let's see. The momentum in treasuries might flip around here. Yeah. Okay. So they sell in it. Hmm. Make sure I'm at the top of my feeds here. Tesco sells its business in Thailand and Malaysia for $10 billion. Wow. That reminds me, I saw this thing the other day and they were talking about what is a hot dog? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Because, but I don't think it is, because I think a sandwich requires two
Harlequin
separate
says,
pieces
can you
of
open
bread.
NQ and DAO as well? Curious how big the offer is there.
Yeah, I think I can. I just need to do this. Oh, you know what? I have to do it. I have to do it this way. Hold on a second. I have to add them to this thing. Futures.
Gary Rich
just
says
gonna
Jim
have to
Cramer
just-
hates oil companies. Now he is FOMO Tesla. I'm laughing at him.
NQ and what is it? MY or YM? YM, right? Dow futures, yes. And then platform. Oh, do I have to restart everything? Hold on a second. I have to wait a second. NYMEX Rule 589 provides for price limits at 7% increments with 2-minute halts. My understanding is that there are 4 price increments before trading is halted for the session. Correct. Platform. YM. Platform.
Gary Rich says, did you know Cramer's ex-wife was one of the best bond traders and she saved his hedge fund?
Really? I've not heard that.
Harlequin says, is there also a limit up?
So when I'm looking at these ones, they're not even, I don't know. It's not showing me anything. Oh, but then my ES ones aren't showing me anything either. All of the ones that are stuck like that. Why is it like that? Is it just because they're not getting new ticks? NQ? Okay.
Gary Rich says yes, Cramer's ex-wife Karen was well respected as a bond trader.
I mean, I think when I think about the criticisms of Jim Cramer, I just sit there and I'm like, I think that people put too high of a standard on people. Like they want you to be profitable all the time, forever and always. This is just unrealistic sort of a thing. Like he had some really good success at times, and I'm sure they had really bad times too. But I would not sit down and say, oh well, that one time, and it ruins everything else. I don't think so. He has a really great...
Live Action says at Harlequin, yes, but at night it's 5% and first limit during cash is 7%.
He has a really good way of coming in and being able to say, these are the things that the market seems to care about right now. And everybody will make a bad call, sure. I don't know if when he makes like the problem with a guy like Jim is like, how do you say when he's actually making a call and when
Fallow
he's not?
says what is lame is he would lie about his bad recommendations.
So like he makes recommendations. So like you can't sit down and say every stock that he mentions in the lightning round is a recommendation. Because if you do that, then yeah, you're probably almost always going to lose, especially when he's recommending it. Because as soon as he says something, people are going to be, gaming it, essentially, right? So, well, that's not necessarily fair either. So I take it that Ninja is just not sending ES data right now. See my...
Bot says yes at Harlequin, there is such a thing as limit up. The last time I remember seeing it was in the treasuries and the exchange disallowed any completed trades above the limit price.
Did we hit it in the treasuries?
Gary Rich says when Kramer first stated Mad Money and Real Money, he did a really good thing for retail or new people to the market. I support that.
Like, I'm telling you, you learn a lot from watching his show. You really do, because you understand the way that Wall Street thinks and what they care about at that time, and how they play the game, how a big fund manager manages things, because that's what he's teaching you to do. He's teaching you to trade like a fund manager. Take some profits on the way up, and then when it comes back down, you can nibble a little bit and you average in and out. It's really useful. I used to watch.
Harlequin says 700 lots traded in the Amini and now the offer is 15K.
So it's when I restarted Ninja, it won't show me anymore. Let me just double check here that I've got it. Yeah. Oh, that's not right. Let me fix that really quick. That won't fix that you're not getting data on it, but I guess if I come over here and I open up the Super DOM. Oh, it does show me in Ninja. Maybe it just doesn't like me adding so much stuff. Because it's not... I don't know what I did. Oh, I think
Live Action says at Harlequin and different futures limits are different. Corn 30 cents then 70 cents STC.
I know what I did.
Gary Rich says check the equipment, have the caffeinated drink, snacks and depends diapers. 12 minutes to fun.
I know what I did. Oh, that's funny because I was the one when they first reported that and had them fix it. So there's a thing with because I'm using the bridge. There's a thing with the bridge where you can't send it twice, and I was using the market analyzer on the other workspace. So once we reload things here and I can close the other workspace, and then we should probably be able to see the other ones. So I'll come in here and I'm going to close this minimal one that I made the other day. Aha. Yeah. And then since that's the one that's running, close these. I will add this NQ.
Gary Rich says Morgan says expect 10% more on S&P 2,750 bear territory. Winston's mom says today we have a full moon as if everything else was not lining up nicely, let's add some werewolves.
Okay.
Winston's mom says Monday, March 9, 2020, at 1:48 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time on Monday, the full moon occurs in the sign of Virgo. The full moon is a time of culmination and the promise of fulfillment of that which Winston's mom says was started at the new moon. It is an emotional time, a time of romance, fertilization, and relationships.
What? What? Okay, now I can see all these. Huh. Oh, I guess not. I guess that wasn't it. I guess because it's no orders are coming through, it's just not going to initialize until. Shouldn't have done that. Oh well. I only have that one up, so that's definitely where the data is coming from. So we just let it go. Okay, so now is about where they're going to stop it,
Winston's mom
right?
says mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces most significantly. Winston's mom says this phase of the moon occurs at 19 degrees 37 minutes of Virgo, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 16 to 24 degrees of the. Winston's mom says I am a Gemini sun, Libra ascendant and Aquarius moon, Capricorn in Vedic.
There we go. If the primary futures contract is limit bid or limit offered at
Trade Travel Live
823
says and how does all that make for a trading plan?
and remains limit bid or offered at 825, then trading will be halted.
Says I'm just a Gemini.
So I can't see it anymore for some reason, but they're going to halt it here in a second.
Jerry is awake says I feel left out, Leo.
There we go.
Luis Alarid says my twin brother is too. Winston's mom says just a Gemini, not just a gigolo, which was a fun song.
So it shows my position in there, but it won't go up to where. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. 20 seconds.
Bots says good question at Trade Travel Live.
How does all that make for a trading plan? Sorry, let's back up. Here's your trading plan for the day, guys. Very important. Pay attention. If you didn't hear it before, this is really important. Switch your account over to Sim and have fun. That's
Live
the trading
Action
plan.
Says at Gary Rich, I'll never forget when Kramer called the low back in 09 and him screaming, buy anything.
Okay, so it's halted now. Ninja Trader doesn't even
Twemdog
drink
says,
bars.
Seth, why the hell are you in any position in the S at all? You
It's
have
an-
no
it's
idea
a-
where it's about to open.
It's a sim order. So what happened was overnight I bought it on the bid on the expectation that it would spike up,
Jerry
and
is
it did.
awake says, I think it's appropriate to play Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train when the market opens.
And this was all just like, okay, let's see what happens. So it did what I expected, but because I had two contracts, I only took profits on the one, and I never set an order for the other one. If I had been like sitting there, I would have gotten out completely. But then I just said, okay, well, let's see what happens. Let's see where it opens.
Gary Rich says,
believe-
let's see if the HFT supply liquidity.
I believe that they should open at 28.19. Okay, now
Live Action says,
Now
take
it's
trade in
showing
6
me
years
some
won't be as
liquidity.
dangerous.
hold on a second. Let me just make sure that I got this all right.
Winston's mom says, Jerry is awake. Your Leo horoscope, money matters may come to full bloom now, dear Leo. It's an excellent time for gaining a greater understanding of your money situation or relationships. Live Action says 5.
It's showing me a liquidity, but just some bids down in here. So I don't know. Should I just keep scrolling up until I get to the 28.19 over here? That might get annoying after a while. Like my
Gary
mouse
Rich
is gonna
says,
get-
play Alice Cooper's Feed My Frankenstein song.
Is there a shortcut I can use? Okay. No. I could change the how much the scroll wheel goes. Where is that? Scroll wheel sensitivity. 50. Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Okay, fine. 2 minutes. Feed my Frank. I'm not.
Sebastian Marquez says, disappointed face. Ace Trade says, I think people panic quickly, but also recover quickly and push on. Luis Alarid says, talking heads, this must be the place, naive melody, Wall Street.
Yeah, well,
Winston's mom says, Apocalypse Now, Ride of the Valkyries. Lol, I would link the video, but Seth would have copyright issues.
yeah, copyright issues.
Harlequin says, my body is ready for the open.
Just remember, Wall Street has a way of pricing these, and I don't know what the price of oil really puts the S&P 500 at. And if we're too high, then they're going to sell it until it's
Live Action says, watch the
priced.
percent if we offer S.
Until it's priced. And I don't know if we're fairly priced or if it's just panic. We as retail traders don't get to know, essentially. Okay. 30 seconds. I'm afraid that it's going to get going again and it's not going to show me. But I think that the platform is just doesn't completely know what to do. Ding, ding, ding. The treasuries are going to be fun. Okay, so they're buying the treasury. 5 seconds. Okay, here goes.
Live action says I am long 4
deal.
years.
2762. Wait, how is that possible?
Luis Alarid says big boys will buy, retailers will sell.
Oh. Wait, what? Okay, whatever. The sim platform broke. 2819 and they open it at 2760? What? Wait, so is 2759 the limit?
Harlequin says ha 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 ha. Harlequin says lol
What the
WTF.
fuck?
Gary Rich says come on halt trigger trigger. I wanna see it.
That was funny. Okay, so like I had a stop order put in. Did I perhaps have 2 stops put?
Harlequin says well I
I
guess you
don't
were
know.
wrong with the long bounce lol.
Well, wasn't necessarily saying that it was a bounce per se. Just that there's a high probability of short covering, but they're just gonna open down at 2760 then. Jeez. And certainly I don't think that you would want to be holding a contract when it halts, right? I mean, that's the thing. I guess maybe that's a better way of saying it. Don't be holding anything when it halts. If they get to the limit down, get out. Get out here. If you're short, get out at 7%. You had a chance at 5. Okay, you got lucky. 7%. I mean, could they go down to the 15 or 20? Sure, but I really don't think that it's worth it. And certainly you don't want to be long into it.
Live action says we only had 2% window on open. RJ Wheels says this is bad for Sanders. People will rush to stability.
Oh, maybe. That's an interesting thought, Will. I mean, I don't think people are particularly happy with the Trump administration, but I sit down and I'm like, what did you want them to do?
Smash the Bid says lol yeah guys. Listen to Seth. He had a position long before the open until his demo messed up.
Yeah, so I told you I had them overnight, right? And that one worked.
Gary Rich says I'm going long $3 bills.
The thing that surprises me is that they weren't able to get a okay, so hold on a second. They not halt it yet?
RJ Wheels says just talking Democrat. Trump has long time to fix. Sanders affected tomorrow night. Ace Trade says so now everyone has a story about the open the 9th of March 20 you can tell your kids you experienced. Live action says T-Notes long working but so anemic here.
The T-Notes are not, I don't know. At the moment, the T-Notes I see flow both ways. Okay, so if it was limit down for 2 minutes, right? Shouldn't they be reopening again soon?
Ace Trade says CL looking normal. Winston's mom says I am reading about circuit breakers in Barron's. Level 1 breach, a 7% decline in the S&P 500 from the prior day's close would trigger a level 1 breach, where trading is halted for 15 minutes.
Is it 15
Moon
minutes
says
to 7%?
halted. Trade Travel Live says 15 minutes halt. Guido Sledden says NQ is interesting.
Maybe you're
Gary
right. Maybe
Rich
it was
says halt
2
halted.
minutes. 7% decline.
RJ Wheels
doesn't
says
say.
just got hit with a falling knife. All the gurus will come out with their I told you SOS. Leaving out they've called crash yearly for 6 years of this cycle.
Oh, right. That's totally.
Winston's mom says to trigger a level 2 circuit breaker Monday, the index would have to drop 386 points to 2,585.96. Trading wouldn't be interrupted if the drop came at or after 3:25 p.m. Harlequin says so Nasdaq has different rules? It's dropping.
I don't think
Winston's
that they
mom
have
says
different
it
rules,
takes a
but
20%
it's a
drop
different
in the
instrument.
S&P 500 to trigger a level 3 circuit breaker. If this happens at any point in the trading day, market-wide trading is halted for the remainder of the day. RJ Wheels says Harry Dent. See, I was right. Winston's mom says to hit level 3 on Monday, the S&P 500 would need to fall 594 points to 2,377.90.
This is different than what I was reading earlier because there was 2 minutes. Trading halts occur if NYSE rule is enacted. Crash equity market 7, 13 or 20% downside move. Somewhere there was like the whole thing about it being 2 minutes. Where did I get that from? Now I'm all like questioning myself again because I'm like, no, I read it all and I knew what was going on.
Trade Travel Live says $VIX futures halted now.
Oh man. Let's move this out of the way. Anyways, to the earlier thing that was saying, oh yeah, listen to Seth. Remember, Seth said traded on Sim. So I traded on Sim to see what would happen.
Moon says this is fucking nuts.
The demo system is unable to handle it, and so the demo system actually read that as that my stop guy hit and I went short and made 2%. It's whatever.
Gary Rich says at Ace LOL thumbs up okay hand.
If you look at this, it says that I made a ton, but
Live Action says all those who bought and spiked the S at Fry Close can't be very happy right now.
Oh, surely not.
Gary Rich says 15 minutes.
I would hope that if you were long into the close that you had gotten out by now. Okay, so I guess what I need to do is I need to say NYSE circuit breakers.
Trade Travel Live says rumor is options will be delayed another 10 minutes after S reopen. RJ Wheels says parked cars on Wall Street might end up with sunroofs.
Trading will be halted for 15 minutes and then the listing exchanges will reopen trading in their listed symbols pursuant to respective rules. So I guess at 7:47. What would really be crazy is if they immediately went down to the 10% one after this, but I would start to question how legit that is at that point. You know what I mean? Like, man.
Show me the volume futures says are we halted? I understand the limits, but my COG data feed isn't showing any depth like yours.
We're halted. We are halted for 15 minutes. We're Where did I get the 2-minute thing? That must have been for the options.
Gary Rich says 10 minutes to resume trading 9:49 est. Winston's mom says these circuit breakers have never been triggered in their current form during regular trading hours. The prior circuit breaker system, Winston's mom says, was revamped after it failed to prevent the May 2010 flash crash. This current set of breakers were put into effect in February 2013.
Micro E-mini.
Uzi Knesset says this is so ridiculous it's glorious lol.
So I see 2739. See, the number that I'm seeing listed here is not what they went to. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they open lower again and it has a
Gary Rich
13%
says don't
decline,
forget
I'll
to
be
change
really
your Depends
impressed.
diapers while we halt it.
I will be really impressed if they do if they do that again and get a 13%. That would really be something else. But like I said, like can an S&P can the price of oil really cause the S&P 500 to correct 10% in one day? Is that actually like realistic? Or are the sellers just really pushing their luck?
Live action says 7% halt 15 meters, 15% halt 15 meters, 28% trading suspended for day.
Right. No, not 28, just 20. I don't even think 5%.
Gary Rich says all the sell orders stacking all around, it's likely to hit the next halt level. Highly probable. Trade Travel Live says in the second 15 is 13.
Well, look at that. They bought 10,000 into 2759. Somebody has got to be way over leveraged. I don't know. Like they pushed it down and then they got there. That's where I'm like, you know, if they can't open close to the 13 and then it starts turning around, you know, there's a chance that somebody can get squeezed hardcore. But I don't know.
Live action says 20% typo.
Yeah. Anyways. So will it open at 7:45 or will it open at 7:47?
Trade Travel Live says 49.
Sweeps the yen is moving in 3% clips. That is crazy to me. Where's my yen? Let's pull that up. Jeez, yeah, wow. Really
Gary Rich says it's like seeing the ocean water just leave and say that's strange. Then a tsunami
Okay.
wall is out there.
That's what I thought. I think it does it at 47.
BROVOSKI says hey guys.
How's it going? Hope you're all enjoying your day. I hope none of you put live trades
RJ
on.
Wheels says good analogy Gary. Uzi Knesset says at Gary Rich that's exactly how I described it to a bunch of normies on FB. Winston's mom says breaking news trading was halted for 15 minutes until 9:49 a.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, okay, so till 49.
Edwin Cruz says how do I stop hearing these posts?
You can mute me if you want, but I have to read all of the comments out because I need to keep my eyes up here. If it gets too crazy, then sometimes I mute it because I have the ability to turn it off and on. It's my discretion. But I think it's fun. So I guess another thing that we could say is that unless this is a market panic, then they are absolutely pricing in a recession now.
RJ Wheels says you get used to it, Edwin. I hated it at first.
Yeah, it was kind of weird at first. I have to say, though, it really made a big difference for me.
Lucas says morning peeps, having fun today?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, just let me show you what happened, Lucas. So overnight, I bought it at the limit on expecting there to be some bounces. And there was, but I had two contracts
RJ
on.
Wheels says now I see it drowns out Seth.
I had two contracts on and I only got out of one. So I had the second one on to see what would happen. And I had a stop set, and the platform thought that I was just bounce out of the position and then went short. So it actually shows for me
Winston's mom
that
says
I made money.
CNN is on the floor of the market and reporting now. Systems are tested this way and evolve over time, so people should understand this is working the way it should.
Isn't that funny? That is so
Lucas
weird.
says, "Oh wow, lol, nice."
So
Lucas
it thinks
says,
that I
"Lol,
made
wanted to buy that
285.
circuit breaker level 2.
It wanted me
Lucas
to.
says free money.
But it didn't really happen. It was the sim broke. The sim broke. Is it funny? That one in the Zien though was
RJ
legit.
Wheels says I wish CNN said that in November 2016.
Yeah, right. By the way, how do I do it best fit? There we go. Move that. Okay. Yeah, so that one, it says I only lost 375, which maybe that's right. I don't know. Because I had made 10 on it or something. Anyways, really weird. Okay, so now it should get going here. Boom. All right. So a little bit lower. Looks like some buyers are coming in.
Lucas says
here
we
now.
are back. Winston's mom says maybe you should stop playing Sims Speculator Seth and try sewing a woohoo voodoo doll. See if you can poke some sense into the market doll.
I want to make some trades in the micro, but look, there's no liquidity to do it.
Lucas says the MES is a mess.
There's no liquidity to do it with. Oh my gosh. Okay, now there's some liquidity on it. Are they just gonna go down to 13%? I mean, come on. No, they would really be hard. This take them some time for them to do it, wouldn't it? Okay, 2715 has a bunch of buying at it. I'm just gonna move this over a little bit so that we get some more room.
Lucas says 13%. Challenge accepted.
13%.
Harlequin says
right?
5,000 contracts on 27,000. Harlequin says asterisk 2,700.
Okay. Well, they're turning pretty hard there. Whoa, 4860. Some of those prints, holy Nikes. You could maybe buy it right there. No, see,
Show
well,
me the
it's gonna
volume
stop.
futures says bro we are just skipping prices.
Yeah, there's no liquidity to even trade it in the micros. Like I can try putting like an order in there, but let's pull up this chart. Look at how wide it's going. Nope. So you can have it right and still not get filled. How many times can I try it before I might catch one? No. That's some selling right there. This is just
Gary
wild.
Rich says I have brave balls but I'm sitting this one out.
Oh, one of those, the stop took me out at minus 16. You'd get 8 ticks of slippage on that, is what it's saying. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe I got one. Maybe. No, it's slowing down already. I don't know. We shall see. Looks like the short
Show me the
covering
volume
rally to
futures
me.
says animals. Lucas
So
says I have brave balls too and I don't like them up in my throat lol. Show me the volume futures says someone just hit 230 lots down.
I saw some 1,000 prints there on the way up. They're just crazy, and they just traded right
Luis
through it. Like it
Alarid says still sitting on my grimy hands.
didn't even pause at all. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of consolidation here in the 60 area. Okay. Wow. Wowee.
Joe_Zen says interesting.
Were they going to try and make it back up to the 28.19?
Gary Rich says I know when not to get kicked in the nuts with these 2 to 3% swings.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think I should just leave it and see what happens for fun.
Winston's mom says trading stops at 20% for the day and everyone will go home.
Yeah,
Amazing.
right. That would be amazing if that happened. That's what I was saying. It would be really hard for them to just go to the 13%. So they made a little bit of a down, but it's
ATR on the
reversing
current
now.
5 meters bar on ZB is worth $1,500. Wow. Gary
Yeah.
Rich says on Discord you can see all the halted stocks. Holy.
I got a ATR of 12 right now. Of 12 in the E-mini. Okay, it looks like they might try and make another run at the regular high. Maybe. Donald Trump, so much fake news. Okay. Some sellers hitting it there. Treasuries took it on the nose there. I think we might go a little bit higher, yeah. Okay. They look
Lucas
like
says
they
his
might go to
treasury's responding to
28.19.
this.
Oh yeah, they're selling hard at the moment. I don't know if they're gonna. They're definitely getting below this previous low area. Well, they're getting close to it. They haven't quite done it yet.
Gary Rich says those Robinhood users must be jumping out the window. Lag time. Hey, why can't I sell?
Right? And so far, I would say that things have been going well with my data.
Lucas says lol.
There really has been some market liquidity problems, though. Okay, so are they going to go through 28.19? If they go through 28.19, then I say okay, shenanigans before. And I get to be vindicated too if they go above 28.19. I don't know if they do though. Like there is a little bit of pullback coming in already. Having this tick chart down.
Show me the volume future says after great. Past month a 100-point swing doesn't seem too wild lol.
Right? We just had a 200-point swing, right? Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. No, they're having trouble holding that one. Yeah. And the treasuries kind of made a fast turn back. Well, if they turn all the way back down, that'll be something else.
P says lol at your face.
What am I just like? What's going on?
P says how much are you losing?
I'm not losing any money. I have no live positions on. I have a sim order that's making money. For fun. That was for fun. Well, look at that sweep down there. Wow, oh my. Consolidation. Push higher. No, I don't think that's going to.
Live Action says this market reminds me of Christopher Walken saying, wow, wowie, wow, 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 in the Continental Man skit.
Oh, it sure is crazy. Well, hey, look at that. That was better. Still not a reliable pattern that I know of. But hey, if it goes higher, then it goes higher. Oh, look at that.
Bots says NQ closed the gap down from the overnight halt 8,093.75, low was 7,820.00.
Do you see it get stuck there in that range for a second? Oh. Okay, so that's a sell right there. If you can see it.
Show me the volume futures, says E-mini dancing around like the micros on non-farm release.
Right. Consolidation. Failure. Retraced. I think though, if you were to take the trade, that would have been it right there.
Gary Rich says
you're
look
done.
at VIX 59 and climbing.
VIX. Oh, I don't get VIX futures, man. Where do you think they can go? Can they get above 60?
Winston's mom says, more cowbells, lol live action. We saw Chris Walken on Broadway twice in a play called A Behanding in Spokane. Sam Rockwell, Anthony Mackie, that play and Christopher Walken was hilarious. Show me the volume futures, says VIX hit 62 lol. Uzi
62.
Knesset says this is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I really want them to get above 28.19. I think that will be absolutely hilarious.
Bot says thumbs up at Gary Rich.
There's got to be
says please this live trade.
There's got to be so many stops
Winston's
at
mom says
28.19.
47 watching now. Please hit like while you are still smiling, and are you still smiling?
I'm still smiling. If this comes all the way back on me, I probably won't be quite as in a good mood, but I just got to remember to don't know what is going to happen. There's absolutely no ability to predict what it's going to do here. Okay, what was that in the treasuries? Whoa. Oh, okay, so I see number of confirmed cases in UK rises to 319 from 273, the health ministry states. Oh, there was news at the top of the hour. Let's move that like that. Consumer inflation. Now I don't got anything.
Says congrats on the birth, Seth Jr.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. We've been having fun. He's starting to interact with us, but it's starting.
Winston's mom says, "Dear diary, I have no ability to predict what will happen here."
Right.
Live action says at Winston's mom that cowbell skit was funny too. He's an okay dancer too. Who would had thought? P says fuck bitches get money.
When it all resolves, it'll seem so obvious, but for now, I don't think that we really can know. I do know there's some strong possibility of short covering is what I said. I
Lucas
think that
says
we had
Ace
that
still
there.
made his 2 points.
So I don't know if they continue up or if they try and push down and make a new low or what. What will happen? It'll probably be really crazy though.
Winston's mom says live action. I was surprised also when I first saw him begin to dance. He was remarkable in The Deer Hunter, way back when, and he continues to surprise me.
I haven't seen him in anything lately. Is he? Ooh, okay. Some stops there. This is an inside bar, actually. Believe it or not. It's actually starting to act like an inside bar. You can get this crazy jiggle both ways.
Masiak says hi. Air Cages
Hey,
says
how are
heal.
you? Man, we got everybody's here now. How many of you guys said, fuck this, I'm not trading it. Let's go see what Seth's doing. It's absolutely insane movement. Oh, wow. Look at that. How fast that came back down.
Show me the volume
I looked
future,
away
says
for
me.
a second and it
Show me
went
the volume
down.
future, says lol.
I looked away for a second and it went down like 25
RJ
points.
Wheels says I'm not trading. Air Cages says okay market, you have my attention. Uzi Knesset says hand with fingers splayed.
Okay, 2 seconds. New bar. Buying comes in. The candle structure is a long signal, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It suggests though that we might get some continuation up.
Air Cages says how do I close my 100x CL shorts? Live Action says I was surprised so many came because of daylight savings.
Right. Well, daylight savings could help though, because there might be some Europeans that normally wouldn't trade. Man. Okay, so now they're trying to move up. They're only towards the high end of that inside bar though, so it's not significant enough of a move to really get them going yet. They're sure pushing though. Look at them go. 27.95. Okay.
Gary Rich says I remember 08 Hank Paulson came out sweating like he saw a ghost.
Oh yeah.
Sorry we don't have a deal, and whoosh we dumped hard.
Oh man, I remember. So that was when I first started watching markets. And I remember being in class and being like, well, I want to see what the market is, because I was so involved in politics and I wanted to know how it was going to affect the election. And that was when I was like searching the internet for things that would even let me see what was going on, And yeah, there was those days where like there was a bill and there was no bill, and it was like 700-point swings from hour to hour. It was crazy. And this is moving about as much though. But I really, not until maybe a little bit that we've had it. Because what will happen is you'll have a day where it goes down, let's say 4%. And then the next day it goes up 4% and then down 4%. And it does that like all week. And that's usually, or in the past, that's always been the bottom. In the past, that's always been the bottom. We're that's where it was like, well, this is a really strong sell, and I feel like that they need
Air
to
Cages
retrace a
says
little bit.
somebody's making a whole year's worth or profits today. That somebody is not me.
Yeah, it never really happened. Maybe a little bit last week, but I don't feel like we're there yet, And so that was where it's like, well, there needs to be a little bit of a pullback, but I don't think the worst of it's over yet. Now, of course, this movement today, though, I think has a lot more to do with the oil than anything. I mean, the northern Italy is definitely a big component too, but I think that the oil is the reason the market is so upset. Okay, so there was a slightly higher high. They're still shying away from 28.19. Look at that.
Air Cages says who keeps shorting Bitcoin? Please stop. Think of the children.
Think of the children. Oh, where is Bitcoin? Let me pull that one up. Oh, it went lower. I did not see that. Oh, that. Ouch. Air Cages. You didn't lose. Did you lose all your profits on that one, or you get some out of it still? I didn't watch over the weekend. I should have known that it was there. Feel dumb. Okay. Well, it helped that price. Okay. So crazy. Go. Come on.
Air Cages says it's only money, Seth. Magic internet money. I'll get it back eventually. Masiak says I stay away from trading now. I only try on Forex trading where there are lower rates.
Yeah, don't trade this. Okay, that was a good little run there again, but still not to 19 yet. Probably need another push or two. He's definitely gunning for it. There's got to be stops at 28.19, man. There's got to be some crazy stops up there. Hmm.
Air Cages says what a time to be alive.
All right. By the way, thanks for all of the likes too. 20 likes already, and we haven't even said anything about it. At one point, we had 60 viewers. That's crazy. This is a wild market. Well, definitely all of the circuit breakers getting hits can generate a lot of headlines, huh? Okay. So a little bit of selling there. Yeah.
Uzi Knesset says even in this ridiculous mess, ZB still finds support at its IB high.
Really. Well, the treasuries really took it on the nose there. They came almost completely back.
Air Cages says are the new viewers passersby or current subscribers?
Well, I can't tell right now. We'll be able to look back at it and see how many of them were new traders or not. But if you're new, welcome. We appreciate you turning in. We're here every morning, so. I don't know. So there was a little bit of long came in there, but they're going to get above the 2809. See? It's a little bit of consolidation there at 06. It's not. Okay. Nope, not that time.
Uzi Knesset says yo there is someone in ZB very obviously spoofing 100 contracts on the bid.
Really? Where? Are you talking about that 22? Well, somebody just got filled on a bunch of contracts and they're trying to wash them.
Uzi Knesset says it's gone now but it was there a few seconds ago.
Try and keep an eye on. My eyes are
Air
focused
Cages
on
says
the
welcome to Club Seth. This room is only $299 a month for a limited time only. For all your Seth needs. All
Right.
Seth, all the time.
Do you need Seth? Well, for only $299 a month. All your Seth needs, all Seth, all the time.
Gary Rich says if the corona cases get past 250K, expect more volatility in everything. We know there are more than 250K, but the media is slow reporting.
Oh man, so the thing that was driving me crazy over the weekend was this whole thing over the death rate being 3.5%. And I saw there was an article on Business Insider where they pointed out that the death rate in South Korea, where they have pretty good testing, and they've done much better than any of the other countries on the testing, the rate is only like 0.3 or 0.6. It was 0.6, that's right. It was 0.6, not 3.5. And I've just been saying, it's like anybody that thinks that the rate is going to stay at 3.5 is not know what they're talking about, because it's always been. We all knew that it was going to go down, and then Donald Trump said something, and all of a sudden everybody got hung up on this 3.5% thing. It was so annoying. But I have to wonder, at what point...
Lucas says, can we trade this now? I'm waiting for your signal.
I would just stay out. I mean, there's enough liquidity for you to trade it, sure.
Air Cages says, yeah, I'm also waiting.
But I would say stay on sim the whole day, if not the whole week. Just because, well, let me put it back let me say it this way. I wouldn't trade until they're putting more than 2,000 contracts on the 10-year. That's kind of seems to be the amount of liquidity that is necessary for the stops that most of us are using would survive.
Uzi Knesset says now's a good time to chill and fund your accounts lol.
Yeah. You don't always have to trade it. I know that there's certainly money-making opportunities here, for sure. But the sad truth is that as a retail traders, with the amount of funding that we have, you're likely to just get stopped out of your trades, even if they're good
Air
trades.
Cages says fund my accounts from what?
Well, you can take out a loan now. Take out a loan with these low interest rates and blow it all going long on equities. Okay, come on. 28.19. I want to see it. I want to see stops at 28.19.
Lucas says okay crying
so
face.
Bad. I want to see it so bad. Oh, they're shying away from it again.
RJ Wheels says I'm getting a job. In 3 months my new boss says I'll be on drive-through.
There you go.
Show me the volume futures says lol 3x inverse ETF funded with a helic.
There it is. Okay, there's a big old 1,000 lot at 28.19 in the E-mini.
Lucas says we are back at the overnight 5% down level.
Go. Come on. Do it. He's fighting it hard right there. They might have to come back a little bit and consolidate first. Yeah. Look at that. If not, like, come back really hard. Let's see. With such a juicy target up there, I think that they'll probably try a couple of times to get it first, but
Uzi Knesset says 2,819 is the day's POC lol.
this is one of those spots that
Uzi
messes me up.
Knesset says if you have the entire profile up that is.
Is it really? 28.19? Oh, sure, like the extended session, definitely. No, like when
Air Cages says at times like this a McJob sounds better than ever. It's less stress.
When it comes like close to a price like that and then comes back down, sometimes they just completely die and sometimes they go back up and get it, and I can never tell when. That's one of those areas that I don't understand. Okay, well, there's a little bit of buying coming in there. Let's see if they can make it this time. So I'd say there was some pretty good momentum on it, but I don't know, it petered out just short. Oh my. There was a big old order following it up there, and then they swept him. Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Come on. No? Oh, I want to see it so bad. Come on. Do it. Okay. Now I can see it. Yay! Okay, that wasn't as many stops as I thought there would be.
Air Cages says can anyone tell me when this coronavirus thing is finally going to blow over? An exact date would be nice.
An exact
Thanks.
date. It'll take them time. I mean, first we have to have the true crazy. Maybe today is true crazy. I don't know. Normally you get several days of true
Seth,
crazy.
Can you increase about 1 point fonts on MES?
You want it to just be 1 point bigger? Let's see here. I can go to 9. Sure. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room to do it.
Masiak says yes. Gary Rich says I told the border collie, sell your toys on eBay, daddy made a boo-boo.
Oh man.
Masiak says thank you.
Is that a lot? Does that really make a difference? Mm-hmm. I kind of didn't think you guys would care, but.
Show me the volume future, says CPU fan working hard today.
Well, I don't think my CPU has really been hit that hard. Let's look. Oh, it's more than normal.
Masiak says I can't see clearly before.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not too bad, but we're still only in like the 30% range. And I'm encoding too. My CPU is encoding.
Air Cages says key rule of trading. Only take trades when CPU fan is in overdrive. Best indicator.
Okay, well, I just got a beep. What is the beep? It says it's short. Well, I'm going to leave that up there. Some clicking in the treasury. Oh, I need to reset this. Okay, there we go. Oh, some offers pulling, huh? No. Well, this could turn down very quickly. Let's see. Go, go, go. Nah, see, this is not enough. So some traded at 28.10 too is not encouraging. Let's, this is, I want to look good here, so let's take some profit somewhere in here. Oh, man.
Air Cages says should I try to catch the BTC falling knife?
No. Bitcoin's got to be more crazy than this. No. Came back there so fast. Okay, well, there was the sell for sure. That was a good signal. Actually, I think you probably could have held some good risk on that one, too. Because it didn't come back too much.
Air Cages says I like to live my life
There could be
dangerously.
some long. Is it going to turn back down again? Okay. Cool. See that one? I actually because I was dinking around. So these ones were definitely dumb because there was literally no liquidity. And that one, that's funny that it gave me only negative 125, but whatever. And then that one, more than made up for all of it. But this shouldn't be a winner. If I had a really big account and I was really wanted to make a bet for you guys, I think that one trade that I took in the treasuries was a good one. And in the treasuries, there's enough liquidity.
Slightly smiling face.
In the treasuries, there's enough liquidity. Maybe you could take it. But the rest of it is just a mess and just luck. But I look good, so we'll just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. They could continue down a little bit. I don't know. I'm not seeing like a really clear indication of what it's going to do in the candles, but this is kind of like a reversal period too. So this is definitely would be an area in the next 15 minutes where some bears might try and come in.
Air
short.
Cages says how do YouTubers manage to make videos so quickly? I am confused.
I don't know. You know what? You just record it and you just put it up and immediately it's encoded. You live stream it like I do it. Sometimes it is crazy. I really wish that I had like a, well, hey, we got 15 people, 50 people today. Click that like button. That'll really help the channel out. I would really like to be able to hire people at some point. You know, like we could become like the CNBC of YouTube. But I would really like to have like editors or videographers or something like that. Or even team up with other people for other markets. That's another thing that I think at some point we need to do. Because I do mostly the treasuries. I think it's really my expertise, although we've been doing a lot of E-mini. Some of you guys do the oil. I think that's really important. You know, there are people that do stock picking. I think that's the place where people are really interested, is stock picking, right? Now, there's so much more that we can do, but I just slowly build it up, and I'm mostly focused on the trading it. So,
RJ Wheels says ILL be your YM guy.
There you go.
Air Cages says, so what you're saying, it's a team of people making these videos?
A lot of those channels, absolutely. I mean, think about it. If I had, let's say, I'll just spitball some numbers for you. I'm not saying that these are all accurate numbers, but it'll give you a good idea of what the kind of calculation that you can make on a thing, right? So like, let's say that we have 2,000 subscribers. You could make easily $20 to $30. We actually make more than that, but that's because we have such a high margin business, right? Like you guys as customers are worth thousands of dollars to advertisers, so they pay a lot for it. But let's just say it's an average channel, you could make $20, $30 a month, right? Off of 2,000 subscribers, okay? So now let's say you're 5,000 subscribers. That's a reasonably successful YouTube channel, okay? Easily be making one to 500. And then these channels that have like 10,000, 60,000, million subscribers, yeah, you very quickly get into you're making more than $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And if you're making $10,000 a month, then why not hire somebody for $5,000 a month to do something to make it even bigger? And that's where you get into like the Linus Media groups of YouTube, and, you know, that are literally making millions of dollars a year and have, you know, teams of, you know, like 30 people working on each single channel. So it definitely scales quickly. Oh, look at that. They give us a long and they're moving up again. That 2909 looks tempting, but I don't know if you could hold it. Well, so far it's good. So the thing that will be interesting is if we get above 2820,
Masiak
let's
says,
say.
like this guy from NY, forgot his name. Winston's mom says Bo of the fifth column is making $350K a year now. His channel is really growing, and some of the other channels like the Damage Report, the Young Turks, have noticed him. He began in his garage.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy how quickly it can scale sometimes. I still think what we do is very boring. To the majority of people, what we do is very boring. So, but there's days like today where the expertise is worth something. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So if we get above 2820 and we're able to hold a 5-minute bar above it, then I'm really interested to see what the market does after that. Right now, they're just closing the gap, and maybe they find balance somewhere in this range, is kind of what it suggests to me right now. But if they get above 2820 and they hold it, then we start to say, okay, all of this selling really was overblown, and we really do get this massive short covering rally, you know? So we'll see. I look at the
Air Cages says, I don't think Google pays it well. Perhaps these people get money from sponsors.
Well, you get sponsors too, but you got to realize if you're making so like an average channel is going to make like $1 for 1,000 views. Okay. So if you get, you know, 100,000 views, you can make $100. You get 1 million views, you get $1,000. Okay, so there's these channels, they get 1 million views and $1,000, right? But the truth is that they probably make way more than that, because when you're a high value channel, then advertisers want to spend more money to advertise on your channel. So now you're making more like $5 to $10 per, 1,000 views, right? So now you're making $5,000 off of one video, and then you post a video every day, right? Adds up quick. People probably don't want to hear talking about YouTube, but don't think that that's ever going to be us. I just don't think that there's that many people that are going to watch futures regularly. Okay. So that buy was encouraging. I want to see follow through. Good. Robinhood is down
Gary
again.
Rich says Robinhood app down again. Who would have thunk?
Oh, I pushed that video about why you should trade futures instead of Robinhood really hard, and I think we saved a few people. I think we did. I think a few people were saved by the saving grace of futures margin. Wait, they increased the Ninja Trader margin by 5 times now?
Fallow says Robinhood? Winston's mom says YouTube pays their creators with channels. Usually, the creators of content also have a Patreon page.
That's true.
The psychics offer free readings and then have value-added services. KRS Astrology has skyrocketed.
So we have a Patreon page where I post Bitcoin charts every day. Actually, I should probably go and generate that right now. But I'm pretty proud of it, and it's something that I hope at some point everybody in the cryptocurrency field uses, and that's kind of why we're putting it out there. Is I want everybody to have it, and we only charge $5 a month, and I just think that it shows a lot that people are willing to spend $5 a month for months and months to see it, because it really is useful. So check that out. It's in the link description below. And let's generate that chart and post it right now. Yeah, see, that move up was nice, but they followed through a little bit, but not really. Then they kind of fell back again. White House aides are set to meet with President Trump later today and will present economic stimulus ideas to help him respond to the coronavirus
Uzi
fallout.
Knesset says just got email from NT. They increased margin by 5x now. Air Cages says it's easier to trade on apps like Robinhood. Imagine telling a newbie to buy Jigsaw, NT, the right data feeds, find the right broker, etc. I'd rather blow my $50 in a virtual casino.
Well, I just can't. I'm telling you, man, like, all of these guys trading SPY options and stuff, like, why? Whatever.
Lucas says, yeah, wow.
I can't believe that Ninja, so I was seeing them posted in the equities channel in Discord too. They increased the margin 5 times. So now you have to have $250 to trade a micro contract. That's crazy. Well, it's crazy to me that there are still as many orders out there in the micro as there is.
Ace Trade says a lot of folks making a lot of money on days like today.
Maybe. Yes, dear.
Oh. Lucas says, hi,
Okay,
Ace.
okay.
Lucas says MES now half the margin of S during normal times.
Yeah.
Lucas says, are you among those traders? Air Cages says they're fucking everyone.
No, I'm telling you.
Ace Trade says it. Lucas, how ya holding up?
You guys say some people make a lot of money. Okay, some people make a lot of money, but that's probably 10% of the people. 90% of the people, they trade this and their stop gets hit and you lose. 90%. It's just not worth it, in my opinion, when it gets that crazy. Poor dog came in here and is trapped now. But I don't feel bad for him. He should have known better. We'll let him out in a second. Let's post this first.
Ace Trade says at Lucas, how ya holding up? Ace Trade says at Lucas, I switched over to CL and am long from 32.83, but it could have gone either way.
You know what? You should try your strategy on ZN, Ace. I think you might be pleasantly surprised to see how well it behaves to it. So I was just watching, actually, the trade that I took today that I made 8 ticks on was based off of that. I saw it coming back to that level, and there was a lot of buy pressure, so I thought it was going to bounce off of the level, and it did. Kind of like when, you've caught a good one and it comes up and it bounces off of. Yeah. It worked really well. And you got so much more liquidity in the 10-year right now than anything else, right?
Air Cages says probably more like 99%. Gary Rich says at Uzi do watch Drinkin' Bros podcast? Ace Trade says at Lucas I'd take a long in S, it's going to head up in a bit.
You think so? Huh?
Uzi Knesset says nah, never heard of it. Lucas says wait, are you now a CL trader? I came to S for you. Trade Travel Live says S micro liquidity better now.
Yeah.
Ace Trade says ZN? I thought it was too whippy, but I'll look at it. I need to be better at getting in other markets.
ZN
Lucas
is
says
the
I will have to learn
calmest one.
CL now. Gary
ZN
Rich
is the
says
calmest
expect
one.
all margins to increase. Air Cages says days like this I'd rather burn my money in the fireplace. It's not as fast but keep me warmer. Ace Trade says at Lucas I know. I am usually loyal to S, but I've got to expand. But I'm all about dancing with the girl you brought.
Oh, okay.
Lucas says haha.
No. The 10-year has the most liquidity and is the most trendy. So it's really good at, you just go with it and it'll just go all day for you sometimes. And I only have one line showing on here, but can you see how once they broke through this one and then all of a sudden it's just down. But you have so much more liquidity in the 10-year. I feel like that in action like this, that the 10-year is the only thing that you can really trade and, not catch slippage every 5 seconds. So this is where the 10-year is a really good instrument to trade. And not only that, but the market comes into the 10-year when we have volatility. So it's a little easier to make money because the money's coming in instead of out.
Lucas says haha. Winston's mom says good morning, Ace Trades, and if you are dancing, may I have the next dance with you. Lol, how are you? Ace Trades says at Winston's mom good, have to pop in and out. I have been reading your posts, I just can't participate as much. Air Cages says how is Ace's signal holding up in this environment?
So that's a good question. It still works, but generally what happens is like you get stopped out before it goes. So like it'll happen, it'll chop around there for a really long time, and then eventually it'll end up going the way that you thought it was going to go. So
Winston's mom says I understand, Ace Trades, it's not like today is a full moon or anything, mwahaha. Ace Trade says at Winston's mom, but did you see that moon? Trade Travel Live says trade up or go home, lol.
Trade UB. Man, UB's got to be like really crazy right now. I don't even put that one up anymore. That's just too crazy for me.
Air Cages says where is Abdul the pro trader today? Gary Rich says at Ace, I hope you are trolling on crude.
The fall in Bitcoin kind of is interesting to me because you think about it like
Air Cages says maybe his name wasn't Abdul. You know who I'm talking about. Winston's mom says Ace trades, yes lovely, and there is an old Russian charm that says show a silver coin in your outstretched palm to the new moon tomorrow and you will good luck.
oh, is it?
RJ Wheels says this is giving me anxiety. I need to get a Bill Clinton fix.
Just remember, being superstitious is bad luck. I don't make the rules, guys. Okay, so we posted. It's interesting to me in Bitcoin because I don't really think that anybody's paying attention to it right now with everything else that's going on that's crazy. And it moves down, and I'm like, well, so I will point to all of the longs puke. Because are the guys that are long in Bitcoin even paying attention? I don't know. Well, of course, our friends here they are, but ugh, man, it just looks awfully high to me. Okay, well, we're able to hold 2,800. They're still not pushing 2,820, but it looks like that we're getting an ascending triangle. They might try and make another push. I would like to see it. Unfortunately, though, I should probably quit. So, thank you guys so much. We had at one point, what was the max? At one point, we had, oh, it doesn't tell me. At one point, we had 60. Oh, came just short of 60. So, that's crazy. That's twice as many as we normally have. So, thank you guys very much. And thank you for clicking like. We did good. So, you can click that like button. 30 likes. That's so great. Wait. Oh, why is it taking it so long? Oh, it's not reading it out for me. Come on, read it. Oh.
Winston's mom says
There we
being
go.
superstitious is bad luck. Is this a trading superstition like the boating superstition that bananas are bad luck? And please hit like for good luck. Winston's mom says
I
being
didn't see that
superstitious
last
is
part
bad
of
luck.
it.
Is this a trading superstition like the
Oh, now
boating
she reads it.
superstition that bananas are bad luck? And
It's broken. No, that's our sign that it's about time to go. Whoever decided on the silver coin was afraid of the werewolf and not taking any chances. Okay, no. Really? Thank you guys so much. I had so much fun. Great day. Don't lose money, guys. Just trade it sim. Seriously. Like this whole week, you might be good to just trade sim and just because it's just going to do insane things. Like even if they recover today, they might be down again tomorrow and then back up, and it's just going to whipsaw everywhere. So honestly, if I can give you any advice right now, it's that there will be other moves. And right now, preservation of capital is probably the most important thing. And I would suggest just trade it on sim. Get the experience. Trade it sim. Watch it. But don't and if you do trade it and you take a loss, then just take the loss. Because you can just really blow up your account trying to revenge trade, Live to trade another day and stock up on toilet paper. Whatever. And bottled water. I don't know. My stores around here have been out of toilet paper like all week now. So, but I think at some point people will realize that like you don't really have to do that. Well, I hear the baby. See you tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.